Welcome. It's the Close the Deal Show. I'm your host, Terrence McCray. Every week we bring you business tips, information, and understanding on how to gain knowledge in business from inspired individuals across the Bay Area and beyond. This week, we're going to be featuring another nonprofit organization, but this particular nonprofit organization is represented by a well renowned book writer by the name of Marques Odgen, an ex NFL player. If you don't know about his book, Sleepless Nights, the NFL, a business and a family, please go out to Amazon.com and purchase these books. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you via by phone because of certain studio matters. I wasn't able to connect him on Skype so you all can see him. But this is Mr. Marques Odgen. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Ogden from North Carolina. How are you?
I'm doing well, Terrence. How about you?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm very honored and privileged to have you on today's show, in which we're going to talk about leadership and you being a motivational speaker traveling around the world, not only talking about your leadership qualities, but talking about your life experience, not only in the NFL, but as a family man. And one of the things that we do on the Close the Deal show is we like to educate the Bay Area and beyond with new business strategies. So through your life, you've learned how to do business and you've learned how to be not only a responsible individual, but now today you're taking these same values and tools and teaching other people how to become what you are today, a leader. So please share with my viewers, not only in San Francisco, but around the world. Tell me a little bit about Leadership Academy.
Leadership, what we do with the Leadership Academy is really about just leadership in general. Leadership is the art of getting people to do what you want them to do because they want to do it. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, former president of our country, former general in the U.S. military, talked about leadership is the art of getting people to follow your actions, not your words. So leadership to me is about being a servant leader and having people follow you by your actions and not by talking. Talk is cheap, Terrence. I can tell you all types of things talking all day long. But can I actually do the actions that are necessary to achieve the goal and or vision I'm trying to achieve? That's leadership.
Okay, so tell me about the values you possess as a leader.
Here's what I found. There are a lot of things that make up a good leader, but there's really four main things I feel. Number one is be advisable or coachable. Can people talk to you? Can they give you their honest opinion and constructive criticism to help you gain a better version of yourself? Are you innovative? Are you someone that is always out there ahead of the curve, trying to find different ways to market yourself and market your brand and your people in an effective way? Do you vet people? A good leader is going to vet people that are around them to help them reach that goal. And most importantly, a good leader hires quality people to get tasks accomplished, and they don't micromanage their people. They trust in them to get their job done.
Okay. So being a leader requires a lot of work and a lot of overtime. You know, tell me about the challenges from a retired NFL superstar to who you are today that you had to face with.
The challenges I dealt with are what a lot of people deal with from the military or other athletes from any sport. You lose part of your identity, or so it seems, when you're out of the game and you're basically just trying to find out what you're good at. other than your sport. So when I left football, I had a really tough time struggling with my transition. What am I going to do next? What am I good at? What are my strengths? What should I be doing to earn a living? Because I'm only 28, 27 years old. I have a long life to live. So I had to figure out what I did best other than football. So most leaders are going to go through that, that life-changing moment or that life-defining moment where they have a struggle they have to endure and go through. And then when they come out on top, they come out a better leader than they ever were in the beginning of that, process to now where they can lead others with, dignity, conviction, and passion.
Are you still the same person without the football uniform, or are you different today, and why?
I'm the same person at my core, but I'm different because I'm now grown up more. I have a family, and I'm much more cognizant of how to be a better person and a better leader because I can take constructive criticism. I can work harder than I ever did when I was playing in the NFL. I'm much more alert of how to make strong connections and network with people to help grow my brand. When I was a young man in the NFL, I was focused solely on being a good football player and being a great teammate. As I got older and got wiser, things for me started to evolve. Like I became more coachable, more innovative. I started doing things differently. I became more self-aware. I built relationships that really matter, and I really drive results, all those kind of things. So I'm the same person at my core, Terrence, but as I've gotten older, I've gotten wiser and much more cognizant of how to be a better person and a better leader.
Okay, so one of the things that I find interesting is the fact when you say that you're more of a leader in the household. So how did you allow yourself to explain to your child what it was like being an NFL player with all the attention, all the notoriety that you had, and being the fact that your brother is Jonathan Ogden is a former NFL player who's also a Hall of Famer. What was that challenge like explaining to your kids what that entailed, getting all that attention?
I tell people all the time, the NFL was a job. If you let it consume you to become a personality or your identity, it's going to ruin your career because you're never going to look at it more than you're going to be so self-absorbed and self-indulged that you're going to miss out on the true happiness of being an athlete can be by serving the community, talking to the youth, and giving back. So the thing for me is my brother was always making me aware, and I was always aware growing up from a great father figure, of course, that the NFL, being an athlete, is a job. It's not your identity. Now, of course, when I left the NFL, I still struggle with the transition because that was my job, and I have been doing that job for so long. And it's kind of like, Terrence, you've been doing something for so long, and you can't do it anymore. That's hard. That's hard to adjust. But it wasn't like I was adjusting to like being self-indulged or self-absorbed. I was adjusting to not having a job that I had that I was used to. So that was my struggle. I took all the time. If you're with my kids, and as soon as I coach and I speak to a mentor, I'm like, this is not it's not a lifestyle. It's a job. Treat it as a job, and you'll be fine. But if you get absorbed in it, then you're going to always be having those issues of feeling empty or feel like you're trying to find something that you'll have to find just good enough the way you are as an athlete.
So let's talk business strategies. What does not work in your opinion?
So what was the question?
I said, let's talk business strategies, because one of the things about the Close the Deal show is we like to educate people in learning how to close the deal, whether it's in
Right.
retail, whether it's in service. But we like to also give them certain tools that they can utilize in approaching an interview or giving a presentation or developing a business model. And the fact that you retired from the NFL and you had a lucrative career, you know, when I say let's talk about business strategies, what does not work for you in your opinion in business?
What does not work for me in business is when I've learned that when you're in business, you cannot be over aggressive trying to close deals.
Wow.
You have to learn how to present people with information, with your pricing, and then give them time to make an informed decision. When you start trying to push the envelope and trying to be over aggressive with people, it scares them off. Just like through LinkedIn, or I connect with people, I get to want to know them authentically. I'm not trying to sell them anything right off the bat. I'm getting to know them, getting to know what their push buttons are, what their hot buttons are, what their needs are, and I try to find ways to create value for them and look to do this with them down the line if I feel and they feel I can create value to their mission. But what does not work, Terrence, is being over-aggressive, pushy, and trying to close the deal too quickly because you end up scaring people off usually.
That is amazing what you just said, is because I also know so well about situations like that. And I truly believe that you do have to be assertive, but not in a way in which offends people. So I get that. That makes a lot of sense because usually it's about connecting. And if a person feels, even in your first interview, that you're too aggressive, then they feel like you hustling them. And you may not be.
Oh, Terrence, that is so true. When you're all about the sale and you're not about getting to know people and how to create value for them, they're going to think that you're a hustler or you're a swindler, and they usually don't want to do business with you. I found that people that I've met and built relationships with, now of course that takes time, but those are the more sustaining and thriving business relationships that I have in my business because I'm looking to get to know those people as people, not as a transactional sale.
Truly, truly amazing to know. What would one recovery, what would that look like as a leader recovering from being aggressive?
What you have to do is you have to try to find a way to really say, if you're over aggressive with a client and you've done that, try to find a way to send an email, in a couple of days or a little bit, in a sustainable follow-up time, saying, hey, I'm really sorry that, I was kind of over aggressive. I might have been a little bit too forward in my sales approach. Whenever you have time to connect with me and to discuss working together, I would love to hear from you. And then leave it at that. If you make a mistake, I have a saying when it comes to business when you do things wrong. If you make a mistake, own it, fix it, and move on.
Say that one more time, Marques.
If you make a mistake in business, own it, fix it, move on.
Can I hear that one more time?
If you make a mistake, own it, fix it, move on.
Now that is a close the deal tip. So, Marques,
I'm gonna tell you one more thing, Terrence. That is called being accountable. If you are accountable in business and people recognize you as that, if you make a mistake and you are accountable, they're more likely to accept the mistake and work with you still going forward. If you don't take accountability and don't own the mistake, they're going to have you fix it anyway and then move on and not work with you any longer.
Okay. That is truly, truly good information, good insight. But most importantly, that information can be utilized not just in business, just everyday life. So, Marques, what's next for you in the academy?
What's next for me is just to continue to grow, getting more, attention and working with more people as an executive coach, getting more speaking opportunities, building some online platforms. We're working on our second book, which will be out in the fall of 2019, and just continue to grow our brand and make great connections, meet great people, and just take it to a higher level of helping people who want to help themselves. People that want to invest in themselves are the people that we want to work with.
So, Marques, where will you be speaking at next?
The next speaking job I have is going to be in Harbor Township, New Jersey, for a behavioral health client, and then from there I'm off to Las Vegas to speak for Legacy Education Alliance at their Hall of Fame conference, speak on the same stage as model, actress, and real estate guru Kathy Ireland.
Okay. Sounds like you not only have a real message, but it sounds like you are really busy.
Yeah, I mean, when you're helping people and you're making the right connections, you're going to be busy. If you're looking to do something just for financial gain, which, again, we all need to make money, make a living. But if you don't have any type of inspiration behind your message or your brand to help others, people are going to see through you, and you're not going to be busy, and you're always going to be, as I call it, chasing the ambulance.
Say that again. You're going to be what?
Chasing the ambulance.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, no, man. I mean, that's just something I know from business. Like when I owned my construction company, we called people who would come and try to, come to your job site, work for the day, or do this, do that. Then we called them those guys who were chasing ambulances. They were trying to make a quick buck. They weren't trying to put in the long-term actual growth and development and hard work to build a legacy. They were trying to put dollars. We call that chasing an ambulance.
Okay, definitely. Well, Mr. Ogden, it was truly a pleasure not only in having you on the show, but sharing with the Close the Deal viewers your insight into being a leader, a motivational speaker, and the progress that your academy is making in changing people's lives. I want to thank you, and you are always welcome to come back on the Close the Deal show, and I hope to have you soon live in the studio doing the show when you get a chance to come to San Francisco. It is truly a pleasure.
When I come out to San Francisco for a speaking job, we'll definitely link up. And I'm just going to close with this. I tell people this all the time. Same thing that Coach Jack Del Rio told me, former head coach of the Oakland Raiders, when I was with the Jaguars, when he was my head coach of the Jaguars. If you want to be successful in life, you have to be your own CEO. You have the ability to increase or decrease your value daily. It's up to you. It's nobody else's decision but yours.
Well, thank you, Mr. Marques Ogden. It's truly a pleasure. Thank you for closing the deal.
I appreciate it, Terrence. Good to talk to you, and I look forward to coming on your show live.
Absolutely. Before we close this deal, please, you can definitely tune in on Monday nights on Channel 29 on cable Comcast at 8:30. You can also go on YouTube, press like, subscribe, and write a comment on your favorite episodes. As well as you can go worldwide on BAVC online, SF Commons Channel 29. But always remember, if you want to make the right connection and close the right deal, then you can also sign up on the Close the Deal Show, www.theclosethedealshow.com, and also look in our career opportunities for any intern. But most importantly, look for the Close the Deal t-shirts, which we will be selling at $25, and the Close the Deal water, because contributions will be going to the nonprofit organizations like Leadership Academy. Proceeds will be. in order to continue to close the right deal. So make sure you close the deal.